How long should it take you to do a drawing? 15 seconds? 90 seconds? 15 minutes? Well, let's try all three and see what happens. This is an experiment from my new course, Quick Draw. We're going to compare the results, and I'm going to show you a few other experiments too. I'm not looking for the right time. I just want to see how the time itself changes the drawing. So we're going to start with 15 seconds, and then we're going to go to 1.5 minutes or 90 seconds, and then 15 minutes. And I'm also going to try different pens, some that are designed for drawing fast, and some that are designed for drawing details and tone and moving slower and more deliberately. I'm also going to show you some other experiments and how you can learn to draw with more confidence and more speed and more control and have a lot more fun making art quickly. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let's get into it. So how long should it take you to do a drawing? Well, how long is a piece of string? There's really no one correct answer. Different times give you different amounts of energy and different styles and different attitudes. And we often don't think about time as an art medium. You might think about your subject or your pens or your paints or your brushes or your paper. But the amount of time that goes into making your drawing also affects how it looks. And we're going to explore that today. We're going to draw the same subject over and over, this delicious looking still life of a bowl of fruit. Yum. The subject stays the same, but the time changes. And I'm going to also use different drawing tools for each experiment. So let's start with a 15-second drawing. First, I'm going to take a little sumi ink, put it in a dish, and wet my watercolor brush with it. And then I set the timer for 15 seconds and go. Quick, gestural, impressionistic, a little abstract, but the fruit bowl is still in there. And boom. It's amazing. We can get the whole scene done in 15 seconds. All right, now let's set the timer to 1.5 minutes. And this time I'm going to use a technical drawing pen, which lets me make consistent lines. But this has a pretty big nib in it, so it's pretty juicy and lets me move quickly. Again, I'm doing a contour drawing. I'm not focusing on tone, just the outlines, because I don't have enough time to do all the details. 1.5 minutes is luxurious compared to 15 seconds, but it's still pretty quick. Okay, now let's take another pass. And this time we're going to set the timer for 15 minutes. And I'm going to switch to one of my favorite pens, which has a flexible nib that lets me do both fat lines and thin lines and everything in between. First, I'm going to do another quick contour of the entire scene loosely. It's got thinner lines. And then I'm going to go back over it. I have a full 15 minutes, so I can make this drawing much more detailed. I can correct some of my lines, and I can start adding tone with hatching and cross-hatching and shading the darker areas to really give a balance and to create a sense of depth and volume. Okay, let's look at all three of these together. 3 completely different outcomes from 3 different speeds and different materials. Is one better than the other? I don't know. They're all different. I like them all. Sometimes you want to capture an impression, and sometimes you want to capture feeling and emotion, and sometimes you're aiming for an extremely detailed and accurate representation. Every drawing benefits from energy. You don't want it to feel tight or overworked or mechanical or scatterbrained and distracted. And how much looseness you have in it, it's kind of a matter of taste. Working fast brings you movement and fluidity, especially when you're using a brush or a flexible pen. And technical pens and longer stretches of time give you more control and precision. So 15 seconds gives you urgency, 90 seconds gives you a bit of structure, and 15 minutes gives you a sense of depth and detail. None of them's better or worse. Each one just tells a different story, or the same story told in different ways. This exercise is just one of 35 lessons in my new course, Quick Draw. It's about helping you to draw with more confidence and more control and more expression. And no matter how long you've been drawing, even if you're brand new, you're going to learn some things that will dramatically affect how you draw and give you more control over what you're doing. And if you'd like to try more experiments like this, check out the link below. I'd love to have you join me. The incredible thing about this experiment is that the faster you draw, the more your body is in the driver's seat, not your brain. You're relying on your nervous system and your reflexes like a tennis player on the court. You can't stop and think. You have to keep moving. That's a gift because your inner critic doesn't have time to get in your way. You can make art with a deeper, a more authentic, instinctive part of yourself rather than overthinking and judging everything. It's fearless. So how do you build that ability into your body? Well, think about an athlete. You practice and you experiment a lot. You're literally rewiring your body, your nervous system with each practice session. And that's why these exercises are important. It's not about cranking out a piece of art you can hang on the wall. Your goal is to build instinct through repetition. And the lines on the paper are just the byproduct of your internal education. The more you do it, the more comfortable and confident you become. Doing a drawing in 15 seconds is pretty crazy, but you can do it just like I can. Don't be surprised, though, if your first results aren't quite what you expected. They might turn out even better than you thought. I've put together 35 video lessons filled with exercises and ideas to help you loosen up and enjoy drawing more. I think it'll be just your speed, and I'd love to have you join me.